Showtime! The Capital G show starts right now.
What's up YouTube, Capital G here. I am talking about a deck in this video that I am currently playing and I am currently horrible with, and that is Shadows. And if you're surprised by that, you should be, because I don't think that it's a secret. I've been one of the biggest Shadow haters around. I mean, hell, I played Evil Swarm for months just because I thought that it had a good matchup against Shadows, and I tailored my entire deck to beat it. So, you know, I felt like this is definitely something that I didn't predict. And a lot of the casuals have kind of hopped off the deck and they've moved to Burning Abyss. So I decided this was a good time to kind of pick up the deck and start learning how to play it, because it's still highly competitive. And of the big three, it's the least played right now, and it kind of feels roguish. You know, it kind of gives me that anti-meta feeling of, you know, oh, it's me against the world. I'm playing the most unpopular of the big three. And I have to say that the main reason that I was playing the deck, or what really interests me in it, was the fact that there's just something really cool about beating your opponent down with fusions in like the year 2014. It's so retro, yet it feels so fresh at the same time, because it's something that's new. I mean, we haven't had competitive fusions, I mean, outside of the heroes since like the Glad format, you know what I mean? Like, heroes and Glads have pretty much been it for a very, very long time when it comes to fusions. And one thing that a lot of people don't know about me is I've always kind of been a sucker for like bright and colorful decks, even though if you look at the main Shadows, the ones that go on the main deck, I mean, they're kind of just dark and blah, you know, they're just a whole bunch of purple and black. But when you look at the fusions like Grista and Winda and Construct, like, they're all really beautiful artworks. The backgrounds really shine nicely. Also, the light monsters, you know, like Phaelus and Quips Wyvern, especially if you get like an ultra rare, it's kind of like the perfect contrast. And I know that people are like, what the hell are you talking about, Capital G? Like, that's not a great reason for liking a deck. But I mean, I'm kind of weird like that. It's one of the reasons why I always like watching Dragon Rulers play, especially Mythic Rulers, because the deck was so pretty. You get like red and green and blue all jammed together in one deck. Now, what I didn't expect with playing Shadows is I didn't expect the deck to actually be so much fun. You know, it almost reminds me just a little bit of Battery Man, in the sense that you don't know exactly how the hell your games are going to play out. Now, Battery Man was a little more linear. You were trying to OTK your opponent, but you didn't know how you were going to get to that route. With Shadows, it's like there's so many moving pieces in this deck, and when you look at your three primary matchups, and I'm including the mirror in there, they're all played completely differently, and that's what keeps things, you know, like really fresh, and it keeps them from getting stale. When you play Burning Abyss, you know, turn one, you're always trying to make Dante and then go from there. With Cleese, you're always trying to get Scout and, you know, usually set up with like Sacrifice plus Carrier and then go from there. With Shadows, which, you know, is a deck where I always go second with, and your matchups kind of they'll dictate what you do. You know, you wouldn't just randomly throw a fusion out there, because if you play against the mirror, you'll get fucked up. You know, you play against Cleese, and back row control is the name of the game. You have to get rid of their Scout and then, you know, kind of trying to make counter pushes. If you're playing the mirror match, it's all about making small pushes and using, you know, your non-fusion monsters, your non-fusion boss monsters to do a lot of the heavy lifting. Cards like Blackluster Soldier and Dark Arm Dragon, Chaos Sorcerer, if you run that. And then if you play against Burning Abyss, it's all about the fusions, because you just abuse the fuck out of Shadow Fusion and getting massive pluses from that card and trying to control them with Construct and using Winda to kind of limit their ability to special summon. So it's really interesting. You play three different matches, and it's like night, day, and, you know, something that isn't either one of those that it feels like. And it's kind of shocking, because I looked at Shadows and I thought that it was just going to be another good deck, and I never really put two and two together. Like, hey, you know, this can be a competitive deck and also be fun at the same time. And it's probably the worst of the three big decks right now, but I think with that said, it's still pretty, like, it still has, you know, a fairly bright outlook, because I think that, you know, it's still getting support for the next two sets. It already has an equip coming out that kind of acts as another fusion card, and I think that considering Konami does have a vested interest in Shadows, I think the water one is going to be really, really good. You know, you may even see like some Shadow Neckloff versions being played, but I feel like the water one is probably going to make up for the fact that they did limit Construct and Winda in the OCG, and that kind of crippled the deck. Now, as for what version I'm playing, I'm kind of, you know, still riding with my Shadow training wheel, should we say. So I'm running the artifact version. It's really, really simplified. It is kind of linear, and I'm probably going to end up moving to the Baby Dragon version just because it's so much more explosive. Dark Arm is just fucking nuts. And in the mirror match, it's like, it's way better. Also, you can... You can like abuse the hell out of El Shaddai Fusion and cards like Enemy Controller in the Baby Dragon version, where you can't really use them as well in the Artifact version. So yeah, this is kind of just a video talking about Shadows and saying that I was pleasantly surprised when playing the deck. I really didn't expect it to be anything but just a joyless good deck, and it turned out to be loads of fun. So, you know, I guess that makes me look a little ignorant. So anyways, thank you guys for listening to me talk about my newfound respect and a little bit of love for Shadows. Really fun deck. Thank you guys for watching as always. Subscribing makes life happy.